seem bothered by something.
How did we get here?
A CDMP TV and film presentation from Crazy D, the mind who brings you the Black Ice Chronicles, the Females DVD, and Situations DVD, brings you The Shifter. It's Halloween night at Crazy D's, and a pesky vamp is out for blood. Beware of the Shifter.
That's it. You gotta go beat it damn scram, man. Damn.
Why don't you be a doll and find me a place to change? I need a place to change my clothes before I go.
What? Don't try to hold me on the phone.
D! You been holding out on me?
I was just about to stop and help. You know I help the crackheads, D.
Some people just don't have originality with their outfits.
It's like I hear voices in my head talking to me and shit.
I saw that punk-ass Charles Pippen and his cousin leaving here.
I learned the grace pose. Get your camera ready.
We're here, like we said, for trick or treat.
Crazy, what did you see? You seem bothered by something.
You see that shit?
That crazy stuck in there.
Oh, what? Right. She can't stand that shit.
Well, who's the pet bitch?
Like, I
what the
don't
fuck was she mean? Oh, I saw her to scratch that poke, that bitch eye.
Beware of the Shifter. Be at the premiere if you dare.
Brother Muhammad, if you could, I see you got the sax. If you can hit it, we just gonna move the mic out the way and just let you go ahead and hit it. We're over here at the West Las Vegas Library Theater as part of the summer program for our youth. Brother Muhammad participated. Let's see what you got. went and I was here giving back. Brother Muhammad, thank you so much. One of the alumni of the Summer Las Vegas Performing Arts Program. At the helm, one of the folks that you gotta say is putting it down, because while the youth may not know, we know. While we don't know where he goes and what happens, we have talent that's willing to share and give back to the community. It's in the form of the that's sitting right here next to me. I'm gonna tell you, this brother meant something to me, and still does, because the images that he created put my life in front of me on TV and on film. I'm not gonna tell you how many films he's been in and how many things he's done. I'm just gonna tell you, he already has a day here in Las Vegas. That's right. We have an Antonio Fargas Day. They may not have other things, but we got Antonio Fargas Day, historically bound in history forever, as part of our Kemet in the Desert series. I know the man's work. Thank you so much for making time to devote with our youth in the Summer Arts Program. Mr. Antonio Fargas, thank you so much. How are you doing, Icon?
And we are back. It's your man, the Turntable Assassin, and I promised you I was going to have, and I said it, that's right, I'm country, we going to have. I have the beautiful, the talented, the gifted. I grew up with this lady. I love her. Can I keep it on? Listen. 100, my first crush. I'm so serious, my first crush. Before Janet, I couldn't have a crush on Janet. She was little Penny. I couldn't crush on Penny, but I crushed on Thelma. But ladies and gentlemen, the beautiful Miss Bernadette Stannis. Hey.
Thank you. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
You know what? I told you, we don't do interviews.
Right.
We just going to have a conversation.
Yes.
What is going on with Bernadette Stannis right now?
The Black Ice Chronicles, Females DVD.
I don't think you realize who the f you talking to.
Written, filmed, and directed by Crazy D.
Look, Crazy D, I want to work with you. So, how long before we start shooting? I don't have all day, but...
You don't have all day.
Selling now.
I see you still got them lips.
This is a reality that's going on right now in the streets. People are being targeted. People are being... just the whole 9 yards. In many ways, snatched up, railroaded into a prison industrial complex system, and there you go, becoming the new modern day slave.
Okay, the reason why I asked that question is more as far as the person protecting himself, not outward appearance, because I realize that as human beings, we should be able to dress like we like to dress, right? Because even in the 20s and 30s, 40s and 50s, when the zoot suits were out and the men were dressed in three-piece suits, the police would drive up to the corners, and it would be a scatter mode. Still the same, even though they were dressed to the nines, so to speak. Yeah. So it doesn't matter how we're dressed. What I'm saying is, how do we get our youth and our young men to be aware that they're hunted, and thus be aware of surroundings? And that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about more for us, not for our outward appearance to someone else.
Yeah, I got you on that, because as you begin to talk about that in terms of not having to be regulated into wearing whatever it is that the society wants us to wear, we should be able to define for ourselves what we want for ourselves. I remember that campaign that was out not too long ago, where the RZA had said something kind of similar, where hey man, people should be dressing differently in order to do this and that, and all of a sudden there was this huge Tell RZA this person was wearing a suit campaign that was going on. Of course, you had the Sanctuary, Without Sanctuary, the book that showed clearly countless number of black people in this country, Africans in this country, America, being lynched, being strung up on trees and having their lives taken away from them, and they were dressed in suits,
or in army or military uniform.
Yes.
Bars.
I said every verse is dedicated to my day ones, who always kept it G and never changed up. The big homies who's the reason why we came up, and they taught us game and ain't let this town change us. I can't forget my Brody Keys, homie Caged Up. We make you move so that when you home, you A1.
Really though, if you with a person that's hating on your dream, you gotta leave that motherfucker. Cause they ain't cool for you. They hating. They not right for you though. You got you some dreams, man. You better chase them dreams. If you ain't got no dreams, all you got is nightmares. Okay. Just keep it real. Just a little bit from me to from me to you. Now with that being said, some dreams got expiration dates. Like if you was born before 1970 and you ain't never been in no rap video, you might want to stop rapping, nigga. Like for real, quit playing though. Quit playing though. Go full time at the job. Why is you playing?
Here's the thing about your movie, why I made the curator's pick of the Hollywood Fringe Festival. Unity, heart,
Hi, this is Marvin King, and I am here with the film review. That part, baby.
It's your boy B-Town's Power 88. You know how it is. We're going down the world famous Bomb Squad. Right now, you're chilling with my man Crazy D, and you're checking out the film review. We got movies, music, culture, politics, and all types of society events going on right here on the film review.
What up? You know who it is. It's the infamous one, the infamous DJ Remix. And it's a big ass shirt, but I'm going to represent for Lordland Films. That's how we do it. Lordland Films, I'm just saying. You have been warned.
What's up? This your man DJ Movie, the Party Rocker, representing Power 88 FM, and you are watching the film review.
Hey, what's up? This is Tori Russell, the founder and director of Broadway in the Hood. We love you all. Reach Broadway in the Hood at broadwayinthehood.org or 702-482-8777. You are watching and looking at the film review.
Crazy D, y'all. The legendary Crazy D. Crazy D is before his time. The musical digital man. And I want to say right now, what's up to Crazy D? Crazy D always one of my #1 supporters, man. A good man, good family man. Crazy D. Tell everybody where to follow you at right now. I want everybody to go follow Crazy D.
What up, Crazy? Crazy D, the legendary Crazy D. What up, dog? Yo, Nipsey got some joints, man.
All right, people. This is Crazy D, and I'm standing here with, of course, Sharon from TC's Barbecue Crib. Go over here so you can see the sign real quick.
You know, we need a black television station because nobody is going to be there for us like we are. So come out and support. It's a free event from 6:30 to 9:30. It'll be live entertainment. You'll be able to receive information on the channel, how to get the channel, if you want to have content on the channel.
That's right. And remember, the event is free, but the food isn't. So come early and get a meal. See you tomorrow. TC's Barbecue Crib.
Hi, this is Bernadette Stammes, Thelma from Good Times, and you're watching the film review.
Yeah, so she just left.
Film review. It's a film review. Thought you knew.
Hello, everyone. I'm Rodney Smith with the film review.
This is another great episode of the film review.
We are the husband and wife team. We are the husband and wife team. We are the husband and wife team. Stay tuned. We're the husband and wife team. I'm Crazy D. And this is the film review. Stay tuned. We got a lot to talk about. We are the husband and wife team that review movies, music, culture, politics, and society. This is the film review. Movies, music, culture, politics, and society. We're the husband and wife team. I'm Crazy D.
Tracy.
And we review movies, music, culture, politics, and society. Sunday at 5:30 on Crazon Dion page on Facebook. Live stream. The film review. Movies, music, culture, politics, and society. This is the film review. What's going on, people?
Hey.
Do we have another great episode for you of the film review? We are your hosts. I'm Crazy D.
I'm Tracy.
And we review movies, music, culture, politics, and society. Yes. And are we live?
Yes.
Yes, we are. And like I said, we have a great show for you today.
Yes.
We're waiting for the blog talk to kick in. We want to say welcome everybody to the film review. Hey. Movies, music, culture, politics, and society.
Yep.
And like I said before, we are the husband and wife team. I'm Crazy D.
Tracy.
And we review movies, music, culture, politics, and society. And we are on all aspects. Telephone number to call in, 213-943-3358. That's 213-943-3358. And we have a jam-packed show for you today.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about many different things. But of course, as always, we have to go on ahead and get the housekeeping out the way. And as always, you saw it at the top, but we always want to tell you again that this episode is brought to you by, come on, change up. It's going to take a second for it to calculate. And there it is.
Yep.
TC's Barbecue Crib. That's right. TC's Barbecue Crib, located at 3658 South Durango Drive in Las Vegas, Nevada. It is a tourist attraction. You come there for the great food, and you come there as strangers, and you leave as friends.
Yep, it's a must.
That's right. It's TC's Barbecue Crib. As you see, we have our TC
bracelets.
bands on. Let me get close there. You know, you can see the hashtag. You know what I'm saying? We have it on.
So like
And
Wonder Woman.
they are our advertisement partners.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so we shout out to them because they make this all possible.
They do. And
That's
their
right.
food is delicious, so you definitely have to stop by.
That's right. That's right.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack. They have it all. Yeah.
Okay, so as we go on, as we keep this magic going here, as we bring this down real quick, TC's Barbecue Crib, again, 3655 South Durango Drive in Las Vegas, Nevada, the Silver State. You know what I mean? So let's bring this up. Let's bring this up real quick and say, we are discussing a lot of things. A lot of things. You've been seeing these ads. They are right on Facebook, on Crazy on Dion page. What's up to Alex T. Franklin? He just chimed in.
Yeah.
Artisha chimed in.
Hey,
What's up to
Artisha.
her? What you see here is what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about a little bit about Dolomite. You know that film is coming out.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking about that a little bit. We're going to be talking about Car Wash.
Yeah.
And the importance of the Car Wash is a movie and a soundtrack that coexisted together, and we're going to be giving a tribute to Bill Duke.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't know, if you've never seen Car Wash that came out in 1976,
Right.
the character of Duane or Abdullah is actually the main storyline in the picture. There's many different storylines going on, but the storyline that ends the situation is the actual storyline, right? Then we're going to be talking about, let's see what else. We got to go through my list here. Oh, we're going to be talking about Good Boys. We went there and saw that over the weekend. We're going to be reviewing Rick Ross's Port of Miami 2.
Right.
Is it not the best representation of hip hop today? And then we have Sextuplets.
Yes.
That is Marlon Wayans' new release, new film, new offering on Netflix.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking about that. So let's see. The film review. Make sure that you check out all the archives on SoundCloud. All you have to do is go type in the film review on SoundCloud, and you can listen to us in podcast form. And you know, as we clear out, we have a small window of, you know, running the table and clearing the floor today.
Yeah.
So let's go here as we talk about this real quick as we get this show running. Ladies and gentlemen, on August 31st, on August 31st of this month, and it's not coming up, there it is. On August 31st of this month, ladies and gentlemen, the fifth mixtape in the series of the film review music review show comes out. Hip hop that we like to hear in films and international movies.
Right.
Where we push for the independent artists to be seen, heard, recognized, and appreciated in independent film and Hollywood movies. The fifth edition, the 5th episode, the 5th mixtape debuts on August 31st, and it is a banger. It is a banger. You will just bob your heads. You know, you can listen to all of the previous ones on SoundCloud and also on Mixcloud under the Film Review Music Review Show, or TFR Music Review Show, and you'll be able to watch them and listen to them and bam it and dump the bass in your car, because we master, baby, we master.
Excellent sound.
Excellent sound. And this one has some special things happening in it, and we're going to talk about that in the weeks to come, 1 week to come, leading up to the 31st of this month. Can you believe that the summer is over and we're coming into...
Oh my gosh, it flew by.
It flew
quickly.
by. That's right. All right. So now, people, you know, there is a new movie coming on Netflix in the autumn. They call it the autumn. It's falling in the autumn. It means it's going to happen sometime when the leaves start to turn their various colors of brown and tan and all that. And that movie is My Name is Dolomite. However, back here, what you're seeing right here is an actual original cover of one of Dolomite's albums. They used to call them party albums, and you know, when adults would put that on, people in our generation would have to go upstairs and go to bed, or go to bed, and that would be the time when we could not hang around the adults any longer. And this is an actual representation of what you see. If you watch the trailer on My Name is Dolomite, this is actually the cover that Eddie Murphy is emulating and bringing back to life again, showing you how Rudy Ray Moore actually brought that cover into existence. That's actually in the trailer.
I can't wait to see the movie.
That's right. That's right.
Gonna be good.
Now, next week, people, we have a special show because we're going to be going in depth on Dolomite. Like, for people who don't know, you know, I owned a record store for 15 years, and I spoke to someone real close to Dolomite just this week. And he told me that Dolomite actually worked in the record store. So I told him that put some, you know, things together for me, because when he came in, because I sold tickets to one of his last performances in Cleveland, Ohio, and at the time, that was back in like 98 or so, 98, 99, and he came in and he was on his tour there, and he told me, you have a nice store. And I didn't, I was like, thank you, but I did not know that he had a history in working in the record store. So all of this movie is going to tell that, right? So next week we have a special show because we're going in depth and talking about Dolomite. What's going on to Treese? She just chimed in. We saw Treese over at the radio station the other day. We had a discussion. I was talking about the home keys and typing, and how, they were trying to hold me from crossing the stage. But that's another story. I've told that story many times. I'm very proud of that, because me as a young teenager handling adults. But anyway, look. So we're going to be talking about that. That's coming up. That's going to be a great show. You have to chime in for that. And we're going to have some more special announcements. Now, people, we have cleared what's going on to Langston Carter.
Hey, Langston.
He plays the jazz on KCEP. And he puts together great shows with the jazz. So this is where we're coming to right now. Let me bring this up. Let me set it up here. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't know, I'm showing a skill here. This is talking and doing something that I would have a person behind the camera actually doing, and we do it here all in one shot, right? Let's see if this comes right. There it is. So this is what we start with, people. We're starting with the tribute to Car Wash, and that man sitting to my left in the picture, but on the right of the picture is Bill Duke.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. And we have to give Bill Duke many props because Bill Duke has continued to expand and do and bring about, you know, beautiful masterpieces. A lot of the generations know him from Menace to Society. You know you fucked up. I know you. You know you. Right. Yeah. They know you. They know him from that, but our generation knows him from Car Wash.
Right.
The character of Duane / Abdullah.
Yes. And others, I don't know if they know or not, but he also directed many classics.
Oh, he directed
like a lot of Hoodlum, right? Hoodlum, A Rage in Harlem, Deep Cover, The Cemetery Club, which was that movie is hilarious. So, Sister Act 2, the Annie Network, the original Golden Spiders, Nero Wolf Mysteries, The Prince Among Slaves. So not only is his acting
stellar,
right, his directing is also.
His
catalog.
If you have never seen Hoodlum,
right?
Hoodlum.
Who hasn't seen Hoodlum?
I mean, for those who haven't, make sure that you put that in there because I believe that is some of Lawrence Fishburne's best acting as Bumpy Johnson, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, you have to see that is great black history as well as Harlem history, right? As I keep on populating here.
And you know what? He also directed television shows. So
okay, go ahead.
Many people don't know he directed like episodes of Dallas, Hill Street Blues, Miami Vice. So many people, they don't even realize they've seen his work other than his acting.
That's right. And he has, you know, that was during the time when people gave him a chance.
Yeah.
Right? And he said that actually on the Dallas gig as director, the guy had mixed up the tapes and thought he was someone else. That's how he got it. And then once he showed what he could do, the door opened up. But like I said, if you have never seen Hoodlum, that is a movie to see. It is, it really is where people really copy a lot of the gangster movement in films today. It's really copied off of Hoodlum. It's well put together. The gunplay scenes, the gunfights, the shootouts. You know the OK Corral in the 1920s and 30s, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, but we're talking about Car Wash today. Produced in 1976, September 3rd, September 3rd, 1976, it was released. This back here is one of the original banner posters that came out, you know, representing the film. And let me just tell you, the film is not only dramatic, but it is hilarious as well. Right? It is hilarious. What's going on, Takia? She chimed in. Listen, not only is it dramatic, it is hilarious, and the story, it is well written out. It is an ensemble piece. It's actually breaking the rules that most script writing classes tell you that you should deal with one or two characters, right? And then you may have supporting cast, but this is an ensemble piece, and each group, each set of people have a storyline, right? But it is Abdullah or Duane's storyline, which is the driving piece through the film. His hard, stern stance on what he believes, and how in the end he is able to emote and show you the sadness of the character. So Car Wash released September 3rd, 1976. Let me see let me make sure I said directed by Michael Schultz, right? And it is about a day in the life at a car wash with various
cast of characters who are employees at this particular car wash in Los Angeles, California.
Right.
And just like the song says, the song narrates what's happening, what's going to happen in the story. It tells you pretty much what's happening. Car Wash, the song by Rolls Royce.
Right.
If you've never heard it, the hand claps automatically catch you in and draw you into the song in the first place. And matter of fact, the film opens with the car wash thing, right? And so a good film, a great film, opens and gives you visuals to open up the story to tell you where you're gonna be. So of course, it starts, the skyline comes down, and it starts to show you where you are at the car wash. You start to see the men working at the car wash, doing different as far as prepping the car, and then the car is going through the car wash and everything. And they show you all that, and then they show you like the supporting cast members.
Should I read off the cast?
It. Go ahead. Read off the cast.
Richard Pryor, of course.
Richard Pryor comes later. He's the cameo appearance.
Yeah, him and the Pointer Sisters.
His is a one-dimensional character. Daddy Rich. So he is a cameo, a special cameo, and he lays that piece out with the Pointer Sisters. It's definitely something. And again, it has to do with the main story of Duane and Duane or Abdullah.
Yeah.
Edward said hi. What's going on, Ed?
And then, of course, Bill Duke is in the film.
Bill Duke.
Ivan Dixon, George Carlin, Antonio Vargas, Franklin Aji, Sully Bolyar, Irwin Corey, Danny DeVito, Melanie Myron, and Dwayne Jesse.
See, it's a few more.
Still,
more. But
the Pointer Sisters.
Oh, wow. We're going to go through it's a long list.
Tracy Reed. Yeah, Garrett Morrison. We have to mention him.
Yeah, we do.
Right. And, the cast is vast. Leonard Jackson, Ren Woods. I said the Pointer Sisters, right? So June, Anita, and Ruth Pointer, Bonnie Pointer. Nice cast.
Yeah, it's a nice cast. But
nice cast.
The main story wraps around, again, Abdullah Duane.
Right.
Which is Bill Duke's character. And Ivan Dixon, if you didn't know, for many years I did not know, because I had seen Car Wash for years, I did not know that Ivan Dixon was the same person from Hogan's Heroes. I did not know he was the radio operator in Hogan's Heroes until I was doing research on this film like a couple of years back. And I said, that's Ivan Dixon. He had changed from the time he was in Hogan's Heroes. Right. He had aged into being able to play this character of someone who is a mentor type figure trying to keep. He's the character that's trying to keep the peace between the boss and the workers. Yeah. And at the same time, he's trying to advance himself in the system. And the Duane, the Abdullah character, is like, man, that man is never going to give you a heads up because he is just a plain old. They didn't put it in the movie, but because of who Abdullah is in the story, he said he's just a devil and he's not going to bring you through to anything. He's not going to give you your upper hand and give you a hand up. And then just before, because the boss had kept blowing him off, just before the boss says, come in on Monday and we'll talk about it. And then it leads into what happens at the end of the film. And we don't want to ruin it to you, but it does have to do with Abdullah and him, because him and Abdullah are cool and he can understand, and he has an overstanding of what Abdullah is going through, but he, as the character, is keeping the faith that this can work out. And this is what makes Car Wash a timeless film, right? Because the same things that they're talking about in Car Wash 1976 are the same things that we are talking about still in 2019. 2019.
Yep.
In 2019, the same things that Oscar Micheaux was talking about in the 1920s, in the silent era, coming into the talkies into the 30s, is the same
today
things that we are talking about today. And when you watch those films, they are timeless because it is a timeless entertainment, because we have not found a way to get off the hamster wheel as of yet. Now, let me say, Abdullah. The name Abdullah means the most beloved of your names to Allah, because it's a combination, and it means servant of the Most High, right? So it is one of the most beloved names to Allah. Arm, leg, arm, head. That's the representation.
Right.
When you study different religions and what they mean, Allah means arm, leg, arm, head. The body is the representation of Allah, God, and thus Abdullah is the servant of the Most High. Right? So that's one of the most beloved names to Allah. Arm, leg, arm, head. Now, that is what makes his situation so perplexing, because as he's sitting there in this situation in 1976, and the oppression is going on, and they are basically being, pretty much ignored, and the storyline shows you why he is frustrated and he is angry, and why he wants to do what he believes that he has to do.
Right.
The name Abdullah being the servant of the Most High.
Right.
It is an inner struggle within inside him that you see at the end of the film, that he knows what he would plan to do would be wrong, and how could that be what he is purporting to be, and him still be righteous. And so the story is a real serious dissection of America at the time in 1976, but it is still a dissection of America in 2019 today. So it is well put together. The whole battle between people talking about that the church is this, and that people should be over in liberation over here, and then people saying, well, let me see you do it first, and then if you charge Bunker Hill, and you're saying we'll be right behind you, partner. You know what I mean? And so I mean, it's still the same things today, and so that's why Car Wash is timeless, right? And Bill Duke's depiction, I would like to ask him where he went mentally to go get that character, because I know that being a young black man during that time was hard, just like being a young black man today is hard. And where did he go to get it? He didn't have to stretch too far, but what life experiences did he draw on to bring the grimness of Abdullah to life, to the point that at the end of the film you see the ultimate conclusion or the ultimate release, moving forward, to move him forward as a character that we don't see, but you can just imagine what's happening, right? What is that? Now, Car Wash as a phenomenon of having a dynamic soundtrack on Solar Records, that the soundtrack drove the film and the film drove the soundtrack. Each one was equally as good or great as the other, right? When you hear the slow song where the guy is contemplating, sitting here in his chair waiting on you to see things my way, and you know that that's the storyline of what's going on with the girl in the diner and the and the car wash. I mean, he doesn't feel, or she doesn't feel that he might measure up, and then the cook guy. Well, you have to see the film.
Yeah, you have to see it.
You know what I'm saying? The songs go right along with every scene.
Yeah, it does.
The guy that is arguing with his girlfriend, soon to be wife, and at the end, as they leave off the film, I mean, it's different things. The streetwalker that finds that the cab is going, and that's when you see Carlin. And I mean, it's just everything there. The hijinks at the car wash with the hot peppers, and I mean everything. And then Professor Corman, when he had he said the bomber has a bottle with aluminum foil, and they were like, "That's it." And you just have to see the film. It is a timeless film.
It is timeless because whenever when you're at home and you're flicking through the channels, whenever Car Wash is on, I can't help but to stop and watch it.
What's going on with Crystal, Shantae,
hey Crystal,
Keith,
hey,
Lauren?
Shantae,
they all chimed in.
Lauren, hey. But you can't help but to watch Car Wash, flicking through the channels and just certain movies. That movie for me, whenever it's on, I have to stop and watch it.
That's right. So, we would like to show you some clips, but that's against.
We would love to play music.
Music. So it's easy. Just Google it.
Yeah.
Watch it.
Yes.
Matter of fact, go own it. It's well worth owning.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? And when you watch it again, you will have an appreciation. And notice how Bill Duke's character, Duane, or Abdullah, is the through line of the film. You probably didn't realize that before.
Right.
But again, whatever ends the film is the through line, and he is the through line of the film.
Yes.
And even he and Antonio Fargas. Yeah. The film hits every topic that we are talking about today, which means that somewhere we have to get off the hamster wheel.
Right.
It talks about religion.
Right.
Separation between it.
Right.
People wanting to do more in entertainment, wanting to still trying to get that meal ticket in entertainment. It talks about homosexuality in it, relationships, right? It talks about the lady of the evening, the streetwalker, and it all wraps around this car wash. And it's beautiful. It's a social piece put in dramedy.
It is.
It's a sociological study put in dramedy at the car wash. Car wash. 1976. Still poignant today. So what would you give Car Wash? Does it stand the test of time?
I would definitely give it a 10 because it's, other than it being timeless, it's you're pulled in as you watch the film, and it's entertaining from beginning to end. There's no doldrums. All of the characters you become, they're relatable, and you become invested in the characters. And really, every time I see the film, it's like you wish there was a continuation. Okay, what happened to those same characters the following day? Because that day was amazing, right? And then the friendships that they built amongst each other was amazing and special, right? And then you saw not only their friendships, but some of them we were able to meet their family members. Yeah, so I don't want to give it away.
You don't want to give it away.
But so you become invested in the characters. It's just well written, and the music is great, and it's a community. Kind of
it's a
you can tell they care about each other.
Multicultural cast.
Yeah, with a community. Right? Yeah, it's a community within the. Yeah.
Within the community. Oh, wait a minute. We left out the young lady who was having an affair with the boss.
Oh yeah.
Right, and then what happens when she thinks she's gonna have something better, and what happens at the end?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it talks about. It's got Me Too in it.
Yeah, it does.
So
it's got a lot in it.
every topic, and when you watch it
Today.
again, you may not have noticed that's what it did,
Right.
but that's what it does.
Right.
So watch Car Wash. I give it a 10
Yeah,
for all
I
those
would too.
different reasons, right?
Yeah.
All right, so now we're moving on.
Yes.
So now, our movie of the day, Good Boys.
Yeah.
Now, Good Boys.
Yeah.
How can I say?
Yeah.
Is it full of bigoted tropes, or is it a movie, or is it even a movie that young people, that the age group is around 12 years old, 11, 12 years old, that's the story, that's the age of the people. Should 12-year-olds be allowed to go see this film? These are some of the questions that we're going to answer about this. Because when we went there were children running down the aisle
we
to
were
get to
shocked
their
to see
seats.
children.
I mean, there were children in the
Right.
seats, and you know, they had done a big campaign where they were talking about that you can't even see this film, even though you're in this film.
Right.
You can't see this film, right?
Right.
So they were talking about that. So I mean, that was strange in itself. So we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
And was it a good film, or what was it? Okay. So, Good Boys stars. Well, you got the cast, right? Oh well, Good Boys is about 3 boys between 11 and 12 years old, and they're coming of age and learning different things, and within learning these different things, they have the worst potty mouths you could ever experience in a movie, and what they think they know, they don't know. Right. And it seems like the little sister is the one that knows everything.
And the cast is amazing, starring Keith L. Williams.
Well, Keith L. Williams is Lucas.
Yes.
And Keith L. Williams is the black character in the film, right?
Right.
And he is the one who, we have an observation about him, and we're going to come back to that.
And
but
also,
he is the one that is like the smartest, we say the smartest and most level-headed in the room. He's like the conscience.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
And also starring Brady Noon. He plays Thor.
He plays Thor.
Yeah.
He's a kid who has a desire to be on stage and perform.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And then there's Max.
Yeah. Played by Jacob Tremblay.
Yeah. Now, Jacob Tremblay, Max, is the main central character of the piece.
Right.
And he is the through line of the piece, and everything that happens has to do with his desire to get to a kissing party. And you see that in the trailer, so we're not, messing up anything. But it's his desire to get to, what's going on to D'Angelo? He's chimed in.
D'Angelo.
What's up to Michelle? She chimed in.
Hey, Michelle.
So it's his desire to get to a kissing party, and everything that you see in the trailer is wrapped around that.
Yeah.
There is 2 funny supporting cast members who are Molly Gordon, who is Hannah, and well, I can't read my own writing. Midori.
Oh, Francis.
See, I can't read my own. God dog it. Midori Francis. I scribble because I type 169 words per minute. So the more you type, the less you write. And this stuff right here is chicken scratch.
Like doctors, right?
Like doctors. Midori Francis. And I call her the Terminator because I was searching her out, it didn't have her character name up on the IMDb, so we couldn't get it. But I call her the Terminator because there is a scene in here where she is determined. She is determined, and she is like the Terminator. And they put different elements of films in this film, which makes it hilarious. You've seen the scene in the trailer with the with the police officer.
Oh, yeah.
But there's more detail in it.
Yeah.
But basically, it's like the classic Hercules film.
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest with you, it's like the Hercules film from the 1950s, where the director put all of the best scenes of the film in the trailer. And matter of fact, some of the scenes that you see in the trailer are more detailed within those few seconds of the cuts than what you will see in the actual film, which to me is a slight letdown. You know,
it was nice to see Little Rail in it.
Yeah, Little Rail. Little Rail plays Lucas's father, right?
Yeah.
And then the other woman from I forget her name. I'm not sure if she's.
Molly Shannon from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, Molly Shannon is in it, but I mean, I'm just saying. I'm not too sure about the other, but they have a nice supporting cast. We won't go there. We're trying to keep it here, so you won't be. But like I said, it all surrounds this now. There's a doldrum in this film. After you go through all the first half, all the laughs
Will Ford
in it.
Will Ford is in it from Saturday Night Live. He plays Mac's dad.
Okay.
Molly Shannon from Saturday Night Live is in the next film. Okay.
Oh, that's right. I was wondering. But anyway, so look. There's a doldrum in the film where you have a letdown after all of this buildup of the hijinks, right? And the laughter and the sexual jokes and the innuendos and the use of beads and all this, all that. It's a letdown, and you're sitting there like, okay, where are we going here from this? Then after the doldrum, there comes a heartfelt scene where they find that, like I had a professor named Frank White. He was a black man, but his name was Frank White at Cleveland State University. And he was talking about the scripts he was writing, about how he wrote a script that was personal to him, about him and his friend who were college buddies, but as they got older, they split apart and moved on, and how life, though you were once friends, life pulls you into different directions. You gain new friends, you gain different interests, and then though you still remember that time, and you may still be cool, you may not hang. So it comes to this heartfelt moment where they discover that they may not be around each other like they once were.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And so that's where you see the acting of Thor, played by Brady Noon, right?
Yeah.
Right. Brady Noon? What kind of name? Anyway, Brady
Noon.
What? But anyway, look. Brady Noon. Okay. That's got to be a state.
That's a great acting name.
Brady Noon.
Forget.
Starring Brady Noon. Okay, listen. But Brady Noon emotes.
Yeah, he does.
In that scene. Right?
Yeah.
And he brings something to it that, even though it makes you laugh, but within his emoting on his face, he really brought that emotion to life. So I have to give it. So there are some points in it. Now, is it a film that's worth that your kids should go to?
Well, it's not for children.
It's not for children.
It's like South Park, right? It's a cartoon, but it's adult humor. It's for adults, right?
You remember the movie? You remember the movie Fast Times at Ridgemont High? And there was another movie called Porky's, right? And these movies were young white male driven films, basically about what would be considered now Me Too, right? And my sister was of age, because it was 17 and older for rated R back then, right? And so she was of age to go, and so anyone that was of age then could take someone that was younger. Right. So I went to go see these films. I went to go see Porky's and Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Right. And looking back on them, both of them are case studies in young white maledom. Right. But looking back on it as a person who was 12 years old, I didn't necessarily have to see that. And this right here, goes further in the discussion of sexual situations more than Porky's and let's just say Porky's and Fast Times at Ridgemont High dealt with hijinks and dealt with trying to see things that you weren't supposed to see. Right. This right here goes into things you're not supposed to see that have to do with sexual entertainment or toys.
Do you think a lot of that? I think there were a few children in the theater, and a lot of it I think went over their head.
I mean, it went over the head, but it's what goes into your zeitgeist will stay beyond what you know and later bring itself out later. And so that's what I'm saying. So this went further, but at the same time, the Lucas character, right?
He was the conscious.
He was the conscious, played by Keith L. Williams. He had wisdom within the storyline, and so he was like, some of this is me too, and you're supposed to, you seen that in the trailer, you're supposed to respect them and ask first if you can. So they were putting this in, but at the same time, this is really over the top. So I don't think it was something that, even though it was based on 12 years old, I think it had to do with grown men remembering their time as a child, coming up, or the young girls who were the supporting cast members remembering their time. I mean, it branches out. It talks about kissing. It talks about all of that we saw before. It even talks about lesbianism in the piece. So I mean, it's really strong, and it really begs the question if it's not even some kind of sick pedophilia type dream made up by the people to bring this forth and then have these kids doing this and then grown people going
you're
to
thinking
see
about the period maybe when you were growing up, because today what those children are dealing with are what they're actually dealing with today. Like some of those children in those schools, they have parents who are of the same sex. So for me, it was realistic, right? And it was produced by Jonah Hill and Seth Rogen. And I like how it was also multicultural, because it was realistic, right? So in the school, it was a mixture of kids of all races. And then you saw heterosexual kids, you saw homosexual kids. So it was a combination of...
Jonah Hill had that movie that flopped with a dude called...
Was it the 90s?
Yeah, something about the 90s. The skateboard that flopped, and he had old boy in it. The guy he was playing a security, and he told him, I don't think you can say that. That flopped.
When they said the N-word,
they should have left that out. They should have left that out. Well, anyway,
but that's how the kids talk.
Is it how they talk? But anyway,
but the movie was quite entertaining. It was something. It was an entertainment film. It wasn't a film that you were supposed to go and sit down and take something out of.
Does it measure up to the sophistication of Porky's and Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
It was actually better.
I would say no. One, because they were dealing with a younger demographic. But there's a fight scene in it that rivals anything that you would see in film, right? And so you have to see this. It's pretty good on that aspect. So we're not saying don't go see the film.
It's entertaining.
Just
go
gauge
for laughs.
Go for laughs. Gauge to see. So what would you rate the film?
I would give the film a 7. It was quite entertaining. It was entertaining.
I'm going to give it a 7 for those reasons. And I'll say this: the black kid was often on the outside looking in. They gave him a lot of screen time, but he wasn't involved in the friendship. There's a hug that takes place, and he's outside of the hug instead of inside the hug. So you can tell where the story was going, and it's kind of like a knockoff. You gave that observation about him, about him as a character. Tell him that observation.
His character, Lucas. That character kind of reminds me of was it Poppy
on Shy?
On the Shy. Because which is a great show. We reviewed The Shy, you know,
and that's worth
previous
seeing.
episodes, definitely worth seeing. Now they're working on 3, so I'm looking forward to season 3, right? But anyway, so the character Poppy,
it looks like they watched
it. Kind of reminds me of, because Poppy, he's kind of like the conscious of the 3 friends, right? Because on The Shy is based on, although the neighborhood, the relationship between these 3 young friends. So I guess are they the twins also? They're like 13,
they're 12,
13 also.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he kind of reminded me of Poppy a little bit. Except for Poppy is a little bit like smoother.
He's got sauce and drip, and
Poppy has sauce.
Would be considered a kind of a geek, and they drew him as a geeky type.
But
character.
It kind of reminded me a little bit of him.
Yeah, like
it kind of remind me of the relationship between the friends on The Shy.
They kind of ripped him from that. Right. I believe that they did. I believe that they ripped him.
But it's definitely worth seeing, so we give it a 7. So our next film was just a delight.
Was it a delight?
Was it a
delight?
We're
going to get to it. But first, we have to get to this right here.
Okay.
Which is our topic for tonight.
Oh, we get into the topic.
Our topic for tonight. Let me get out a few seconds to change.
We have to get that phone number out.
Yeah, we're going to get that phone number out, which is 213-943-3358. 213-943-3358. Let's bring it up. Our topic for tonight is, you can barely see it there, but I brought that up, to make a change.
Okay.
The top 10 black entertainers that should have biopics.
Right.
The top 10 black entertainers that should have biopics.
Right.
Telephone number 213-943-3358. So tell me, if you would, who do you think should have a biopic? A biopic, yeah.
Well, at the top of my list is, because there's so many biopics I would love to see, but at the top of my list I have Marcus Garvey. I would love to see his biopic.
Entertainers. Marcus Garvey was a freedom fighter. Now we can get to freedom fighters on another day.
I was thinking black.
But we talking.
So we're talking about entertainers.
Entertainers.
We're
trying to keep it light.
Entertainers. Okay, so Paula Jai White.
Paula Jai White.
We saw her interview on Vlad TV.
That's right. She's from Cleveland, Ohio.
Right?
Went to Shaker School.
Yes.
Integrated Shaker School.
And we've always known her as being, a great actress. Body of work, amazing. But when she told her life story, what did I say to you? I said, that needs to be what?
On a biopic.
Yes.
She deserves a biopic.
Yes, she
does.
Definitely. Her life is interesting.
Who else would you say? Where would you rate her on your list?
That was my number 1.
That's your number 1. Give me a couple of more before, and then we'll finish.
Well,
we're gonna take this. We got a phone call, so we're gonna take that.
Okay, so let's
take that. But what's
another one more? I would love to see Beyonce, because her life seems interesting to me. Because, for instance, when you met Destiny's Child, they were teenagers, right?
Teenagers.
So to see where she's come from to where she is today, is amazing. And to know that they what did they say? She said they worked out as children and high heels on the treadmill, right? You're getting their stamina together as teenagers, right? To get your stamina together. So the discipline and
she fell on the steps, she got right back up and kept going. So that's entertaining.
So her life would be interesting to me.
Okay, let's take this.
Because while most kids were being teenagers and going to their junior prom and going to the amusement parks, Beyonce was entertaining the world.
That's right.
So her life would be interesting, just like Michael Jackson's story was interesting to me. I really would love to see his biopic done over. I would love to see
done over.
I would love to see it in a theater.
Well, that was the Jacksons, so we need to see Michael by
I need to see Michael on the big screen.
Probably a period piece.
Yeah, produced by F. Gary Gray, or
a period
Spike
of time
Lee,
of his life,
or just I would love to see that.
Michael. Let me write that down. I never thought of Michael.
I would love to see his on the big screen.
John White.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take this phone call. We got 216 on the line. What's going on?
Hello.
Who we talking to?
Hi, Tracy.
Hi. Who we speaking? Hello.
My name is Monique. Hello. My name is Monique.
Hello. Hi,
I'm
Monique.
calling in because. Hi. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine.
Okay, wait. Turn down everything that you have up, and we'll be able to. You'll be able to listen back to it later. We need a clear signal. So turn everything down that you're listening to listen to yourself, and just listen to us over the phone. And then that way we'll be able to get a clear sound, and then when it plays back, you'll be able to hear yourself good. Okay?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay, so do you have your top 10 black entertainers that you have a biopic?
I do. At first, I had a few people that were not entertainers, but I went back and wrote down a few more people. So my top person I would pick is probably Mary J. Blige.
Okay, is that number 1 or is that number 10? Which order you going in?
I'm going off the number 1. I think she would be my number 1 person that I would want to see a biopic from.
That's a good
because she's been through a lot, but she still keeps pushing, and she's very positive, and I love her music, and I love her realness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me too. That's a good pick. I put Mary on my list too.
I would have never thought of Mary.
That was real good.
Let me write that down. Mary. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, which one?
And then my second person I would pick is probably Oprah.
Yeah.
And then my third person is Beyonce.
Yes.
Then my fourth person is Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
My fifth person is John Singleton.
Yeah.
My sixth person is Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
And my seventh person is Stevie Wonder. Okay. And I'm still working on my last two.
Okay.
Stevie Wonder.
That was a good list.
Oh, Beyonce. Beyonce is one too.
Yeah, that's 3.
Yeah, that's a good list. I would watch all of those biopics. All of them.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
So Eddie is coming out with the My Name is Dolomite movie.
Right.
So what makes him someone that deserves a biopic in your estimation?
Well, I think that Eddie Murphy has changed stand-up, at least for African Americans. He was the first comedian that I saw when I was young. But I know that to me he's one of the funniest. And he's so talented that I would definitely want to know how he got started, how his life was growing up, what got him to Saturday Night Live, and then all the other great films that he's had since Saturday Night Live. And I remember, I think Delirious was my first stand-up comedy that I saw, and that I was rolling. That was so awesome.
Yeah.
You were just how? Well, we don't want to say that. How old were you when you saw it?
Well, I saw it late, so I think it came out when I was about 1 or 2. Until I was about maybe a teenager.
Oh, it came out when you were 1 or 2. Boy, we are feeling vintage here. But okay, okay. And then tell me about Stevie. Tell me about Stevie Wonder. What makes him an interesting person to have a biopic on?
Well, I just listen to his lyrics, and just his lyrics and his music is so emotional and colorful that, I couldn't, it's like he uses so much emotion in his music to imagine somebody being able to be so descriptive of love and life and they can't physically see. I just think he's amazing. between just his lyrics, his sound, his everything. I mean, like, I just want to know how he got started and what made him so interested in music to decide, oh, I want to learn how to play the piano. And the fact that he's blind, but he's one of the best writers that I had ever heard musically.
He is.
So that's why I want to see his biopic, to see what got him interested in music in the first place, who taught him how to play, and just to see about his life, because I know he's been married a lot and he has a lot of children too, so I would like to see how all that went down.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Monique, for calling in.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being a part of what's the film review crew.
She's the film. She's now official, the film crew member.
Yes.
You're part of the film crew.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, talk with you later.
I'm glad to be a part of the film crew.
All right, talk to you.
You guys have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right, people.
That was a great list. I mean,
list.
that's true what she said about Stevie Wonder. I mean, because his writing is amazing.
Do you think that Stevie Wonder was influenced by Ray Charles? Or is that a little bit too
Well, no, Stevie
insensitive
Wonder
today?
said that he loved Ray Charles and his music. So he was like, he looked up to him.
Mm-hmm.
He influenced him, so I could see that. But, when she mentioned Stevie Wonder and his writing and the description of love and everything, you know who popped in my head? And I said I would like to see a biopic of his life.
Who's that?
Chris Brown. You know why? Because we talk about it all the time. His writing is amazing. Like the love songs and stuff and the descriptions and everything. And when she mentioned the way Stevie Wonder writes love and the lyrics and the descriptions because like when Stevie Wonder writes, it's like palpable. Like the emotions, he's really like invested. You can feel it. It's as if it's like coming straight from the heart to pen, right? And then Chris Brown's love songs, his writing as well, from the heart to pen. So his story would also be amazing. So Stevie Wonder and Chris, I have just added to my list because we talked about it all the time. It's just like, and with Chris Brown, same as Beyonce and Stevie Wonder, they all started in the industry very young, right? To become a huge success, right? So
and now we find out through Janet that he was actually a cousin.
Oh my gosh, Stevie Wonder is related to the Jacksons.
So it was
They're
nepotism
cousins.
that actually got.
But you never knew.
He had
this.
to have talent though. Right?
Yeah, both of them. They all the Jacksons, family full of talent. Stevie Wonder has just talent. But yeah, it's just amazing. So I would like to add all three. Well, I have Beyonce on my list, but I would definitely add Stevie Wonder and Chris Brown because the writing is beautiful.
Okay, to go to my list.
Okay.
Let's shout out to some people who just came on. Scott came on. I want to shout out to him.
Hey, Scott. Donald, right?
Yeah, that's right. Who else? Donald. Donald came in. What's going on, Donald?
Yeah.
We're setting up a special thing.
So if you guys have a list, call up 213-943-3358.
That's right. Listen.
And give your list. And
listen. Before I get to my list, I have to go over biopics that have already come out.
Okay.
Such as the Dorothy Dandridge. Halle Berry did that one.
Yeah.
Ray Charles.
Okay. Great biopic.
Yeah. Miles Davis, Don Cheadle. It's a period. So it could actually be done. Another Miles Davis piece could be done talking from childhood to what his influences are.
Yeah. See
right?
that biopic.
Because some of this knocks together.
Yeah.
Like when you see Bolden and you see Louis Armstrong and then you would see Dizzy and then Miles comes in there and within there's Quincy Jones. So I mean all of these people
Quincy
are connected.
Jones' documentary was great. I would love to see a biopic on him. James Baldwin.
Yeah. NWA.
Yeah.
That was a great one.
Great.
Tupac. The Tupac biopic. It was really a period in time, right?
Yeah.
The Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang.
They're on now.
Yeah.
Being played now.
That was well done.
Yeah. Well, that was a document. That was
the
documentary
done by them.
But they have the one playing
on
now.
Hulu, right?
Yeah. And then Big, Notorious B.I.G.
That was really good. Yeah.
Rudy Ray Moore is
oh
finally
my
coming
gosh,
out.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it's in a period of time.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy's gonna nail it.
Yeah, he
will. That's gonna be pretty much definitive because I believe that it's gonna tell the struggle and everything that Rudy Ray Moore went through.
Right.
Bolden,
right.
which is the story of the man who created jazz.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
He invented jazz, right?
Yeah.
So that's real good. And like I said, these biopics connect in. Now, my list.
Yeah, and Paula, we said Paula Jod Parker.
Listen. Now my list of my top 10. Now this is going to be a little controversial though, because my list goes a little bit past. Goes a little bit past 10. Okay. You know, but my first biopic, which this is very important to, which will set up the history. Okay. I would have to say that I would like to see a biopic on Stepin Fetchit. Stepin Fetchit was the first, well, one of the first black millionaires. He was not just a rich black man. He was a rich man in Hollywood. Yeah. And when you saw him offset, he was not only, you know, immaculate and stylish,
right,
but he was also articulate. So what you see on the film is one thing, but who he was as a person is another thing. And so we have to get that story, right? Because it's interesting that we as a people seem to down what people do, but we constantly have people to come through. It's a perfect example. It's like what's going on with the Jay-Z situation. Right? And how now they're saying, oh, Jay-Z is a sellout.
Right.
And
I don't think people are giving him a chance to see what he's going to do.
I mean, but my thing is, when are you, for all those people who are saying that he's a sellout, when are you going to dismantle, you know, white supremacy, racism, globally? When are you? How are you going about dismantling it? And when you get to dismantling it, what are we supposed to do in between time? Stay poor within it, because that's what they wanted us to be poor within it, right? So I don't necessarily agree with them calling him necessarily a sellout. And so that's the same thing with Stepin Fetchit, right? When I watch Stepin Fetchit in films, I say they're not talking about us, right? That's a fictitious construct, or an imaginary construct of what racist white supremacist whites wanted to reduce a black man to in their eyes. But like we've always said, it's a black thing, and you don't have to understand it, and who cares what you think about us, actually. So the biopic right there would be good, and the whole thing with Jay-Z and everything. How long are we gonna stay poor within it? You're in it, he's in it to make changes. And remember, the acts don't get paid to perform at the Super Bowl. Maybe he's changing it up, where they get paid, you know what I mean? So let's look at that, right? So I mean, it's half a dozen other, but let me know when you charge Bunker Hill, right? Like I'm with dismantling white supremacy, racism globally, and replacing it with just us, But until then, what are we gonna do? Remain poor about it?
Because from what I've seen, Jay-Z he played a major part in with Meek Mill, like the whole situation with the new judge now, him being released, and just I don't know. I mean, he's done documentaries, he's got films coming out, regarding the life of many other black people. For instance, what's the young male that was
Broder?
Yeah, Broder. That one was Jay-Z was executive producer of that.
Yeah, but you know they're criticizing Jay-Z because now he invested in the ankle bracelets.
Oh yeah,
so the ankle bracelets so the people won't have to be incarcerated, because the incarceration model has now shown to be non-profitable. Those for-profit prisons have been found to be non-profitable. Unprofitable, right? Not non-profit, but unprofitable. And so, you know, they're criticizing them for that. But what can you do in it? You're making moves in it, right? So step and fetch it and all that. I would like to see that. So we're always criticizing, but we don't fight to come to solutions. And what we're going to do, be poor in it while we're waiting? Okay, so anyway. So step and fetch it. Eartha Kitt. Eartha Kitt needs a biopic for
Emmett Till. I'm sorry, I had to.
Oh, Emmett Till.
Yeah, he's doing a biopic of Emmett Till, starring Taraji P. Henson
as the mom. Okay.
So I mean, it's just, you know, before we get to that, I mean, people are quick to just be negative about it. But he did say, first of all, this man has had talks. I'm sure he's talked to Kaepernick, right? So he's been in more contact in Kaepernick than we have, right? So like Jay-Z said, he wants to get in on the inside to make a difference, right?
To make a difference,
right? Because all of these young, you know, black men are playing football in the Super Bowl, so they need someone, an ally on the inside that can help. Like, okay, so if they do take a knee, they shouldn't be punished and they shouldn't have to pay a penalty because they did it. Well, now that you have Jay-Z on the inside that can take care of that type of stuff, right? So you know, people gave Obama a chance for 2 terms, right? So you gave Obama a chance, you can give Jay-Z.
It just seems that every time a black person succeeds, there's always someone there of their own to try to tear them down in some kind of way and say, well, this isn't good, this isn't good, this isn't good.
What I understand is he's had a track record of making a difference for helping black people. Look, so why not give him the benefit of the doubt and say, okay, well, he has a track record and he's said what his agenda is and he wants to make a change. Give him that chance. Don't be so busy to like rip him apart before he even.
I mean, if you weren't ripping him apart for selling death to his own people and supported his records and enjoyed it then, so why would you then all of a sudden, you know, dump on him now that he is in the upper echelon of things? And this is what it is. So Eartha Kitt is my second.
Okay.
Sammy Davis Jr. needs a biopic. Can we get that biopic?
Yeah.
Sam Cooke from off of the documentary. Sam Cooke needs a biopic.
Yeah, he does.
Louis Armstrong.
Yeah.
Who came in and took jazz further after Bolden.
Yeah.
He needs a biopic.
Yeah,
Dizzy Gillespie with the bent coronet.
Right.
He needs a biopic. It used to be a mural down there on Miles.
Yeah.
And when the junkyard was bought,
they
covered it up. It should have been left there. It was like a landmark. It was a piece from the 70s. I grew up. I never got a chance to get a picture of it. You can somewhat see it through the paint because the paint is fading, and it was like things that were done are often timeless, and with the right care, that top layer can be removed and it can come back to its brilliance. I would like to see a biopic on Diddy. Puff Daddy.
Oh yeah, that would be real interesting.
Sir Love, right?
Right.
Richard Pryor. Can we get the biopic on Richard Pryor?
Can we?
JoJo Dancer. That was a good. He kind of told his life through that story. But can we get the definitive biopic? And hopefully Paul Mooney because Paul Mooney seems kind of sick now, and hopefully he wrote down everything to be able to contribute to that movie.
Hi, Mark.
Hey, what's going on to Mark? Hey, Mark Cox chimed in. DJ extraordinaire, Cleveland, Ohio. Nat King Cole.
Yeah.
Nat King Cole needs a biopic.
Yeah,
right?
he does.
I really, he really needs one. The Wayans brothers.
Yeah, they do.
They need a biopic.
Yeah.
Because, it's just from the 80s up to now, they have been in the zeitgeist.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Of Wayans is a name that and you keep seeing different generations come up, right?
Yeah.
It's in the lexicon. The word Wayans means comedy.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And then
they produced a lot of stars.
They produced a lot of stars.
From their television shows, and J-Lo would not be where she is today had it not been for helping to nudge her career.
Jesus Christ! J-Lo wouldn't. Anyway.
Hey, LeBlack.
LeBlack just chimed in. What's going on to LeBlack? Dick Gregory.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Not only is Dick Gregory an entertainer.
He's on my list, too.
But he used his funds, like Harry Belafonte, to fund civil rights, the civil rights movement and civil rights activity, right? And for him to see things moving backwards as he departed, a job well done to pass over to the other side. I know that was totally disheartening. So I would definitely like to see a biopic on him. Yeah. Do you have any others, or shall we move on?
Let's add. Who else out? Because we're going to also be reviewing Hidden Colors 5 soon. Right. So I would also love to see a biopic on Tariq Nasheed.
Tariq
because
Nasheed.
He is our historian. He brings it all together. He's just amazing. All of his documentaries, And like I said before, his documentaries should be shown in every classroom, and it should also be on PBS.
Should be on PBS.
It should be on PBS. Right. So not this watered down fictional stuff that they put in the history books for our children to learn. And all children need to learn the correct history. All groups, need to know our history. So his, all of his films, documentaries, they need to be on television, on PBS.
Maybe on television, PBS,
in schools,
Netflix,
right?
Hulu.
Yeah, for everybody, for everyone
he's
to
the
watch.
number one selling on Amazon.
He is number one.
He's killing the game.
He is.
Right?
He
okay.
is.
So now, people, we talked about the top 10 list, and you can go on to on Facebook. You can go on to consciousness, politics. Yep. What is it? God, man, I got it written down. I got so many pages. It is consciousness, politics, society, and females. I believe that's what it's called. Consciousness, politics, society, and female. No, it's consciousness, politics, entertainment, and females page, and you can comment underneath because we have questions up. We have the Dave Chappelle question. What's his top 10 skits that you like from Dave Chappelle? Yeah. You can go right in there and chime in on that now, people, as we go forward. The next piece that we're going to is Rick Ross's
oh my gosh, great
Port of Miami 2.
Yeah.
Is it not the best representation of hip-hop today? We're going to get to answering that question. And coming up right after that, we have Damon Wayans. We're reviewing
Marlon
Wayans. Yes. Sextuplets. Yes. That's coming up next. Now, Rick Ross, Port of Miami 2. This is his 10th album. 10 albums in hip-hop, right? With such titles as Act the Fool, Turnpike Ike, Nobody's Favorite. I'm going to have to turn over. Summer Rain, White Lines, Big Time, Bogus Charms, Rick. I can't read my own right. Born to Kill, Fascinated, I Still Pray, Running the Streets, Vegas Residency, Maybach 6.
Right.
Gold Roses.
His album is amazing. It it's really hard to narrow it down to like favorites, because it's just like you can let his whole album like roll through. I dare say 1 was an excellent album, but 2, great.
One is, it shows you, one is like he's just started, but this right here is the difference between on the grind and then being the dawn. That's the difference between the 2 albums. Both are still good, but at this time he is perfected. He's smooth. He's got his delivery down, his style down. The choice of music has been impeccable since the beginning. So I did an in-depth on each one. So the first one is Act a Fool, right? And it features Wale. It opens up, the album opens up with this song, Act a Fool. And you remember King T's Act a Fool, so I always think about it. Does it measure up to another song's title? And the answer is yes. It does measure up. It is hip-hop bona fides. It talks about, we talked about what hip-hop is. I'm better than you, and because I'm better than you, I'm going to have the finer of things than you because of my ability to spit, and your girl is coming my way, and that is truly what this is. So it opens up with hip-hop bona fides, with both of them delivering the verse. Then you come to Turnpike Ike. Not king, but an emperor, right? Rick and his team always pick dope beats. They do. Right? That dump and kick in the cars, right? The songs, right? It's like a mini, the whole album is a film, right? But certain songs on the album are like many films within the film. It's like when you hear this one, you can picture,
you can visualize. His writing is great, like Ice Cube. You can visualize. You can
picture luxury, of what he's talking about, and the female voice in it is a plus. I mean, it just adds to it. Then the next one is, I can't read
Nobody's
my own
favorite.
writing. Nobody's favorite.
With Gunplay.
That's right, with Gunplay. It puts me in the mind of a classic hip hop record by Original Concepts called Knowledge Me, right? And through the song, there's no rapping on that song, but it's just the beat construction under it, and it's what he puts there. He says a line. He says, "All the feds taking pictures, so I pose for the hoes." See what I'm saying? So that's like a double meaning there. Like, you can picture it in your mind, and he says he could either be posing, he's calling them hoes, or he's saying he poses, he doesn't let that stop him from living his life, posing with the people who want to be his fans. Right? So all the feds are shooting, all the feds taking pictures, so I pose for the hoes. I mean, awesome lyrical ability. And then in Summer Rain, featuring
Summer Walker, her voice is beautiful also.
Mellow, it is a mellow, low dump with the hi-hat and snare. I mean, it's just what it is. Then we come to White Lines, right?
Featuring Dej Loaf.
That's right.
Mia West.
This is where it breaks into, this is like what you could consider one of his radio video cuts, right? That you could see, that you can hear. It's like you're going to see Miami, and you're going to see the boats, the yachts, and you're going to see the water, and you can see the beach, and you can see the female. I mean, it's just one of those songs, right? Then it comes to Big Time.
Featuring what legendary Swiss Beats.
Yeah, Swiss Beats opens up, and he does his opening talk, right? Over a Just Blaze beat, right? And then the sound, the production, the flow is big. It's big production, right? And what's so beautiful is the album is so well mastered that even though this is big, all the songs are at the same level, so everything hits the same. It's beautifully done. It kind of reminds me of one of the Jay-Z American Gangster. The production on some of the production on American Gangster.
And
that
you know what?
album.
That album is classic. Executive produced and put together the music and stuff by Puffy.
Yeah.
Like that American Gangster album. If you haven't heard it, go back and check it out. That's an amazing album. I mean, Puffy, like Jay-Z said, Puffy was sending him music, and he was just like, "Oh my gosh!"
It was not.
Great tag team on that album, Puffy and Jay-Z on that American Gangster.
Yeah, Harlem,
excellent.
Right. Jerome chimed in. What's going on to Jerome?
Hey, Jerome.
Bogus Charms featuring Meek Mills.
Yeah, it's a nice one.
Okay, this song right here is a song that's about the past into the present. It's like the person is thinking about what happened in the past, and he's living in the present. It would be like if you're in the present. It's like he's in a film and he's driving. It's probably like the big gloom and heading on to the next stage of his life. Like I said, there are songs with the whole album is a movie, but there are inner films, short films within the film, and this is another song, Bogus Charms, right?
You know, speaking of biopic, Rick Ross biopic would really be great too.
It probably would. It probably would. Yeah. He says, "Don't be afraid to live on." Mm-hmm. That's in the hook, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's good stuff. Then number 8, Rich Nigga Lifestyle, right? Featuring Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah. And Tiana Taylor.
That's right. And Tiana Taylor's accent coming in within the first 4 to 8 bars of the song, you let you know there's going to be a female vocal there. Beautiful. The hook, beautiful. A beautiful delivery by Nipsey Hussle. I mean, he really brings the song. He brings his style. Yeah. It feels like another American Gangster vibe. Yeah. You know, it really does. It's 70s with the piano. Moving in the strings, right? I don't know.
Born to Kill?
Born to Kill featuring Jeezy. See, I have points here, but I done so much scrabble. Yeah, I can't even read my own writing. But anyway, look, because there's another slogan that it's what Nipsey Hussle said. Okay. Oh, rich gangbangers. You didn't know that those existed. Right? That's Nipsey Hussle's line. Born to Kill featuring Jeezy. Rick Ross asked the only question that really matters, in life, really. Are you afraid to die? That's the question. It dumps rolling thick on the track. The use of reverb on the song is superb. Jeezy. Okay. Now, fascinated. I love this. These allergies are a monster.
Oh yeah, allergy season out here is just kicking in now. Change of the season. We're heading almost into the fall. But
Rick Ross opens up and says, "Hold your head," right? Yeah. This track right here, where many of the other tracks are based on rim shots and hitting the rim or using the hi-hat with the bass. This is a boom bap track. Thank you very much. I gotta write this up. This is very unbelievable. This is a boom bap track using the hard hit snare with the bass drum. It is brought with the blues. Yeah. This is a bluesy track. Yeah. It's like a death march kind of. Mm-hmm. Or step jam. Even the fraternities could step to it, right? Yeah. Head bobbing track.
Say hi to.
Oh, Miles Lowe chimed in. What's going on to Miles Lowe? Hey. But chiming in.
Yeah. Another great lyricist.
Oh, another great lyricist.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear Miles' thought on it. If you want to call up Miles, 213-943-3358. What do you think about Rick Ross's new album? Is it the best representation in this era of hip hop? That's what we're asking tonight. And or you can type it in, and then we'll read your review right over there over the airwaves, right? And matter of fact, he has a show coming up, so we'd like him to call up and talk about the concert that he has coming up.
Yeah.
Okay, so we did Fascinated.
Yep.
I Still Pray.
Yep, featuring YFN Lucci and Ball Greasy.
Now listen, when people say that there is no more hip hop, right? When Miles says, "Long live Nip." All right, listen. When they say that there is no more hip hop, right? Listening to these two guys, YF and Lucci and Ball Greasy, they are the next generation of spitters, of lyricists. They are spitting on this along with Rick Ross. So what's unique about Rick Ross's album? The first, he opens up with an established artist. Then he comes through with other established artists, but in the middle he introduces you to the next.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then he takes it home, and we're getting ready to take it home too. But the intro tells his mood. Okay, this is a introspective record that tells his mood, where, let's see, with a Isley Brothers groove. You can hear the biggest, okay, he says, you can have the biggest click, but you're gonna die a loner. You can have the biggest click,
right?
But you're gonna die a loner.
Yeah, wow.
It feels like a UGK 8-ball MJG track. It feels like a UGK 8-ball MJG track. Matter of fact, I could hear on the remix, I could hear Bum B and I could hear 8-ball MJG on this track, right?
Yeah.
It's Southern syrup, most definitely, brought up to date, right?
Yep.
Number 12.
Running the Streets.
Running the Streets.
Featuring go ahead,
A Boogie with a Hoodie.
Yep. And Denzel Curry.
Denzel Curry. That's an interesting name. Denzel
Curry.
and Denzel Washington and Curry.
Yeah.
Two masters in their game, right?
Yeah.
On this track, he's dropping knowledge. He is dropping knowledge in the game. So I'm having trouble reading my scribble. I mean, I scribble, you know. But he's dropping knowledge in the game. And what he's telling you in this song is nothing, or what I get from it is nothing is absolute, right?
Yeah.
It's like people who deal in all absolutes, mostly in the end find out to be hypocrite. So I don't deal in absolutes, because there's no absolute anything, because people are people, and that's the way it's going to be.
Right.
And people who deal in absolutes,
right,
they often are later found to be hypocrite because they can't stand up to what they say. Let's take a phone call here. Good morning. Who's on the line? Hello.
Hey, this Miles. What up, man?
Hey, what's going on, Miles? How you doing?
Man, hey, straight from Facebook to the phone lines, man. You and the lady are killing it, man.
Oh, thank you, sir. So tell me, have you had a chance to listen to the Rick Ross record?
Yes.
Okay. And in your opinion, is it the best representation of hip hop today? Yes or no, and why or why not?
I'll say no.
Okay.
And it was a very easy no.
Okay.
Because I think that Rick Ross, I'll say he's probably the most consistent artist, one of the most consistent artists at that level right now. You know, he never drops bad material. He's always got some hidden gems. His production is always crazy. He always has a few key notes that make you rewind, a few punchlines here, a few punchlines there. The features are always star-studded, and he's got respect in the game, and you got to respect that, and you got to show him the love for that. But as far as hip-hop goes, though, I feel there's a lot better lyricists. I feel there's a lot better storytellers. I feel a lot of more albums are more complete than his album that paint a full, vivid picture. He does it well, but he doesn't do it as well as a lot of other people do. But it's definitely a solid album, and if you like hip hop, you have to. You're gonna get something out of Rick Ross out if you're a hip hop fan. But the most complete or the best representation of hip hop of this generation or recent memory
of this era.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, because you gotta think first of all, we were just talking about Victory Lap just dropped 2 years ago.
Right.
Nipsey Hussle's album, I feel, was a better hip-hop representation from production to the features to it, it's telling a full story to even, relatability. Even people who aren't even from the area Nip is from or haven't been in the same environment Nipsey has been in, and you still feel some type of relation to it, I don't feel the same way with Rick Ross. Even if you want to go back in this era, you want to go back, let's say 2013. Is that far enough, or is that a different era?
We'll stay there. That's good. 6 years.
Well, I'll say even back in 2013, the album who I think is like the real certified classic of this generation is Kendrick Lamar's "Good Kid, Mad City."
Yeah.
Okay.
Personally, because it not only did it tell a story, it was great lyrically great. The features were pretty good on it. And I don't know. I mean, the replay value on it is also a big factor.
Okay. Here we go.
That's something that can sit. I'm sorry.
Here we go. Hip hop is hip hop in as far as flowing is concerned. Now, because hip hop is b-boying, DJing, rapping, graffiti, and breakdancing. That's hip hop as a culture. But within the rap format of it, it's about I'm better than you lyrically, and because I'm better than you lyrically, I'm going to have the finer of things than you, and your woman is coming my way because of my spit game, right? And so that's what hip-hop is, right? So with knowing what hip-hop is as far as the rap aspect of it, and knowing that he's been 10 albums strong, right? Doesn't he represent I'm better than you lyrically, and because I'm better than you lyrically, I'm going to have the finer of things, and I'm going to take your woman, because that's hip hop bona fides. That's three things that all hip hop, all MCs rap in one record or three on their album. Yes.
Okay. I mean, I think Rick Ross. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying go ahead. That's what I'm saying. So that's three things that. And he has rapped about that consistently for 10 albums strong. Not two, not one.
But he's kind of like, he's good at many things, but he's a master of none in that aspect, though. Because there's a lot of people that master all that stuff, different, in their own different way, and in a sense, better than him. Better than him.
Okay.
I mean, you want to talk braggadocious. When Jay-Z starts talking about when he gets on his brag tip, it's very hard to trust Jay-Z at that. Yeah. Even somebody like a Drake, he'll bring up, he'll talk about a restaurant or a car you've never heard of and make you Google it. Like, hey, what is a yada yada? Oh, okay, that's what, what I mean? Even somebody like that, when he's bragging and he's, when he's on his cocky mode, it's hard to stop him as well. I feel, like I said, Rick Ross, I'm trying to find the right comparison. Let's say Odell Beckham Jr. Let's give it a football comparison, right? Odell Beckham Jr. is a great wide receiver. He's world renowned. Like, he's maybe the most popular NFL player in the world. But I can name a lot more receivers that are faster than him, get more yards than him, more catches, stay healthy more than him, that win more rings than him, that get paid more than him. I mean, it's, you're an all-time great talent, but as far as all-time great in that category, I don't know. And this album especially, it's a great album. It's a solid, once again, like I said, Rick Ross does do bodies of work if you really listen to it. I think his last album was truthfully.
Oh, you think so? Okay. All right. So we I haven't gave my rating yet, but Vegas residency, which we're gonna break down some of the lyrics on the next thing. But let's talk about the concert that you got coming up. Tell us about the concert that you have coming up and where they can get tickets.
Oh man, well, first of all, if anybody's watching right now, because I know you guys are gonna need to watch now, you're gonna watch on the playback, Miles Low on Facebook. Miles Low Music on Instagram and on Twitter and Snapchat. I got a show coming up the 14th of September. It will be at the Hard Rock Live on the Las Vegas Strip. So you know where to go to be there in attendance. You can hit me up directly for tickets because we're actually all having an artist competition, a few other artists on the bill, and those people can sell the most tickets as well as have the best show. I'll get on my Rick Ross cocky tip. I guarantee you, me and my guy Vic Smith, who's on the show with me and my same label, we're going to have the best stuff. We're going to have the best performance. I'm telling you that right now. We've got a full live band. Our producers are incredible. Our sound engineers are incredible. Our music is incredible. But definitely, if you don't believe it, you can definitely go check the music out yourself. You can see some highlight films from prior shows on all my social media. And just come out and support. Worst case scenario, hey, you can be like, hey, that guy was trash. Now I know he's trash. And I'll let me after the show. I'll give you your money back. I'll refund you.
Well, that's the fun. That's the fun of hip hop, to say that you are the greatest because of your spit game, and you're gonna have to finance the things, and your girl is coming our way because we spit the best, right? And plus you're on the bars, on the film review bars, and your video is playing all throughout the film review, music review show, different episodes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I thank you guys for that too, because it's a blessing to even be connected with you guys in that aspect. And for artists like myself, we definitely appreciate it. We need every outlet we can give, and then we need every outlet we can get. And for you guys to do that, especially for me and the people in my circle, especially out here in Vegas, it's nothing but love and appreciation. And man, the film review coming strong, man. I'm telling you, 2019 is crazy, but 2020.
Oh, we appreciate that, brother.
Yes.
That hands up, those prayers up to God. We appreciate you. Yeah. We're gonna let you go, but I appreciate you calling in.
Thank you.
And keep on watching. Appreciate you.
Keep on killing the game, you guys.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, people. So now, Vegas residency, right? Rick Ross opens up. It's a 8-bar opening, and each bar. This is where I'm thinking that he's advancing on the hip hop game as far as his lyricism is concerned, right? And it's so subtle, but in each bar, he's placing a different thought that leads to the larger point before that. So it opens up, it's a Tiffany, so to speak. So it's opening up, and it's nothing but the musical opening, and he's over it, right? Yeah. And he says, since people want to speak their mind, now let me see if I can read my chicken scratch. He says, watching Kanye interview makes me feel like I want to cry. For every innocent brother charged with a homicide. Went to battle rap, so now we're wearing mega hats. Now that is right there a great hip hop, right? He lets you know that in the first bar that he was watching Kanye, it makes you want to cry. For every innocent brother charged with a homicide, for every innocent brother, this means that he's without beating the dead horse. He's talking pro-blackness without having to beat it over the horse. And he comes back, went from battle rap, so now we're wearing mega hats. Now that is a battle, right? That is a call out. That is like, what are you doing, brother? Then he says, Dade County nigga, mansions up in Torrance. I guess I'm right about that. I can't read my writing. Never golfing with the Trumps. now give you my word. Tomorrow. Anyway, it rhymed with word. I can't read the writing. Back to coming out of the trunks, 20 a bird. Another seizure, so I woke up in intensive care. Hope you treat a poor man like a millionaire.
Yeah.
Right? So he opens up and within each bar he's leading into the larger thing, and he's basically saying that if you're believing in Trump, you know, this is like you're trash. I mean, that's basically what he's saying. And he's saying all of this. He's also telling you that while all this was going on, he had a seizure. Right? So, and within when he says back to coming out the trunks, 20 a bird, he's saying that instead of golfing with Trump, if it came down to it, he would go back to the street game. Right? But in between seeing all this, another seizure, so I woke up in intensive care. Hope you treat a poor man like you treat a millionaire. In other words, he got the best treatment because of what he could afford.
Right.
And so then he opens up. So Vegas residency.
Right.
You have to listen to that record. Then each bar, he opens up and tells you a different thought that leads to the conclusion in the 8th bar. Beautifully written poetry, right? And I wish I just could read my chicken scratch so I could tell it to you fully, but I got the point. First 8 bars of the verse is dope lyricism. Okay.
Maybach Music 6.
That's right. Using a jazz riffs through the guitar and the piano. Beautifully done, right? Beautifully done work, right? Right? Hidden Beach, it has a Hidden Beach feel, right?
Yeah. And that's featuring John Legend and Lil Wayne.
Yeah, the names. Call it the road. Okay. The line that stands out in this particular one, he says, they call it the road to riches, but I still had to walk. You see what I'm saying? Lil Wayne is on this. One of the best verses in this era from Lil Wayne, right? So we want to say that then. 15. So as I told you, the album is a movie.
Right.
Starts out with an established artist.
Right.
You know. Then it goes in the middle and he introduces you to new artists that are going to have the spit game.
Right.
Then he closes with the heavies. He closes with Lil Wayne. Yeah. And then on the 15th track, Gold Roses.
Excellent song as well.
He closes with Drake.
Yes.
It's a dope opening verse by Drake.
Yeah.
Ross, this track beats you up in the head, right? It makes you bob your head, right?
Yeah, it does.
Now, Drake, one of his lines, vision isn't mine, told my niggas the vision is ours. Right. Which is a cooperative economic thing, right?
Yeah.
Now, Rick Ross right here, this is actually the first 2 verses. Drake opens.
Okay.
Then Rick Ross comes second. Then the 3rd verse, Rick closes. And he goes back to, he opens up with hip hop bona fides and he closes with bona fides. But for clarity, this is 2020 clear vision. This is a love record.
Right.
This is a love song. It's a love song. So Drake says, vision isn't mine, told my niggas the vision is ours. Ross says, in the mirror, she's a blessing, rebuking the devil. Right? So this is a love song, right? And then Drake says, put some flowers in my face, let me know I did okay. It's a love song.
Yeah.
Put some flowers in my face before I leave here and let me know that I did okay. That's what people want. People want to be seen, they want to be heard, they want to be recognized, and they want to be appreciated. Put some flowers in my face. Let me know I did okay. That's in the hook.
I would love to see his biopic. Rick Ross would be a great a great artist to see a biopic on. What's up to is it
KP Isley. That's right. Let's go here.
Sextuplets.
That's right. Sextuplets is what we're coming up with next. I just gotta make sure that I hit this right. Here we go. All right, people. So as we come to the latter half of the show, last but definitely not least, and we made sure that we held this until last. And let's make this real big so they can see it, people. Let me see how long it takes for this to generate. Let's
because
see.
this is the
there we go.
The star of the night.
The star of the night is
night.
Marlon Wayans.
Yes.
Sextuplets, right? So it's starring Marlon Wayans, Marlon Wayans, Marlon Wayans, Marlon Wayans, Marlon Wayans is 6 times. Marlon plays Alan.
Yes.
He plays Russell.
Right.
He plays Don.
Right.
He plays Jasper.
Yep.
He plays Ethan.
Yep.
He plays Baby Pete
Yep.
and Lynette.
Yep.
The mom.
Yes.
Right? So up here you see 5.
Right.
But there's a 6th character that he plays. He also plays the mother.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Glenn Thurman.
Yes.
As Leland.
Yes.
Debbie Morgan is Janet.
Right.
Those are his in-laws.
Yeah. And
right?
Brescia Webb plays his wife,
That's
Marie.
Right. That's right. And then Molly Shannon plays Linda.
Yeah.
She is his oversexed, or should I say undersexed, over-alcoholed boss.
Right.
Right?
And then Michael Ian Black plays his friend Doug as well as co-worker.
That's right. So this film opens up, and it opens up beautifully. It opens up and it starts from the skyline and it comes down to a building. And then you hear a conversation already happening where the husband and wife, she's about almost 8.5, almost ready to bring a new life into the world. 8.5 months, and they're talking, and then they're talking, and you come to the conversation, and that opens up the storyline, and it tells you. Then it cuts to a scene with the father, right? And no, it doesn't. It cuts to the bedroom scene where it sets up the story where he's talking about he doesn't know his family because they was asking him, where's your family? He's going to have to tell his child, he's not going to be able to tell his child anything about the family. And so she says, well, my father can do that overnight. So then it cuts to the barbecue, and he asks for a favor. And then so next thing you know, he gets this, and he gets the envelope, and he finds out that he's not just one. No. He finds out where his birth mother lives, and he goes on the road trip. And that's how the story kicks off, right? Yeah. All right, so the first person that he meets is Russell. Once he meets Russell, that's when it really kicks off, and they start on this road trip. And from the beginning to the end, the road trip is incredible.
It's a ride from beginning to end.
All the way through.
No doldrums.
No doldrums.
Hilarious. Great writing.
Great writing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it goes from, it starts with Russell and they go on a trip.
Right.
Marlon Wayans' acting ability in this is just incredible. It is incredible. Yeah. It is well worth, you going to see the film. Yeah. Him as an actor, incredible, well done,
you go to
well
Netflix.
Executed.
Yeah,
go to Netflix to see this piece. It is well done. It is well worth you watching. It is a masterpiece. It is a classic. It's a masterpiece in acting. He can emote. And that is one of the most important things about this piece is that Marlon Wayans can emote.
Yeah. He's not just an actor. He can really act.
They talk about Richard Pryor. Jerry Lewis did this first.
Right.
right? He played multiple characters.
Right.
He didn't play multiple characters on the screen at once, right? But he played multiple characters.
Right.
And from these multiple characters, then different people. Nutty Professor came about.
Yeah.
And then Eddie Murphy was inspired by the Nutty Professor, created the Nutty Professor and the Clumps, which are cut scenes.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
You might see 2 or 3 people on the screen at once, or 2, 1, whatever it is. But this is motion camera. The camera is moving with while the 2 people are talking to one another while action is going on. There's a fight scene in this that rivals any fight scene out there, right?
Yeah.
And it is well worth seeing and well worth watching. But his genius, he is a genius. Is he a genius? Yes, he is a genius. And that's what we're going to say about that. You have to see.
You do, because you know
Sextuplets.
we don't want to give anything away, but it's just like when you see each of the characters, you forget that it's Marlon Wayne.
You forget.
It's like they have their own separate identity.
Their own separate
Like you said, he emotes, like the acting that's in his eyes. It's just like, and in the scenes where all of the family members are standing together, you actually see them as like individual people.
You do. As they stand together.
So excellent job.
I mean,
excellent
and
film.
he are able to deliver various voices.
Yeah.
When he plays the sister Dawn,
right?
I mean, it is believable.
Yeah, I'm like, that's Dawn.
and you see it, and you say, yes, this is who this is.
Right.
This film, from everything from the writing to the motion camera to his delivery, his ability to know where the eye line is, to be able to make this totally believable. This is better than some CGI I've seen.
It is way better.
Way better.
Way better.
Right?
Yeah.
So we just have to say, you have to see this film. We cannot say enough about Sextuplets.
That the costume, the hair and makeup is excellent because they don't look costume.
No, they don't.
I mean, it looks real.
It looks real.
It doesn't look like a wig.
It doesn't look like a wig.
Fake. It doesn't look like a fake prosthetic outfit. No. It just looks like a real human being, each individual character. Excellent job. It doesn't look fake. It doesn't look phony. It just looks real. He did an excellent job.
He does an excellent job. He is a genius. He should be up for awards on this. Matter of fact, this, well, I'm going to say that because it's on Netflix and he's going to get such more wider audience than being in the theater. Oops. Isn't that what Netflix is afraid of? That people will start to say that they don't...
The movies, the Oscars, they're afraid.
Afraid that if, like television at one time, that people will stop going to the theater, and that's not the case. But they should win awards for this because this is how great it is. It is a great piece.
Yeah.
It is well put together.
Yeah.
And it should be seen again and again and
Netflix,
again.
they have a winner with Marlon Wayne.
They do.
I mean, they need to give him this huge multi-million-dollar deal contract or something because everything he touched turns to gold. Like, we binge watched, this was, what, last year? But his show, with the Marlon show. We binge watched, like, all of the episodes. We started off watching it on NBC, right? But when NBC, don't get me started on NBC. But once they canceled the show, as well as many other black comedy shows that they canceled, when they canceled Marlon's show, we were real happy to find out it was on Netflix.
Right.
So we were able to
with a 3 on there.
Yeah. But, so I mean, just excellent.
He is a genius. He has come into his own. He is. I mean, it's just beautiful. So this has been another great, robust episode of the film review. If you missed any of it, you're going to be able to hear it in its totality on the replay through Crazy D Magic. Right? Because we are here to make sure that people are seeing her, recognized, and appreciate it. So make sure that you go see the films that we say, and then make sure that you save your money on the films we say you shouldn't see. You know what I mean? Because we are here to make sure that you get your bang for your dollar.
And then don't forget to check out Miles Lowe. You know, he's also on the film review, and he has a concert coming up.
That's right.
So check him out also.
Music review show.
Yep.
So this has been another great, robust episode of the Film Review. We are your hosts. I'm Crazy D.
Tracy.
And we review movies, music, culture, politics, and society. And we will see you next time on the Film Review.
Your movie, why I made a curator's pick of the Hollywood Fringe Festival. Community, heart. Crazy.